Hi, I'm Kirk with Forex Strategy Secrets, and we're going to be talking about the 15.5.1 course and how you can get a free copy of this course material. And because you're here today, you'll be given a link to be able to view all the videos in that course. We're going to show you the simplest, the most straightforward trading system we know of. It only takes about an hour and a half to watch all of the videos, and the course is designed to actually make money trading the Forex market. Now this statement is coming from some of the students. That's what they're saying, and they are actually proving that. And we'll give you suggestions on the currency pairs that you may want to trade so you can maximize your trading efforts. Now I'm going to show you a couple of shots of some entries on trades. You may not understand what they're doing, but you can see that that one is 16 pips, that was 18 pips, 34 and a 25 pip. It was one trade with a one additional add-on. Here's a 40 pip trade, 25 pip trade, 5 and maybe a 6 pip trade. And now we're going to the charts. Now I showed you that to kind of see that yes, people are making some trades, but now we're going to go show you how simple the system really is. First of all, this is the setup. These are the indicators that you'll have. Some of this bottom indicator is proprietary, so unless you subscribe to the course, to get the indicators, you will not see this one, and that is one of the keys to what makes the whole system work. Now first of all, I'm going to start off with a 4-hour chart and show you long-term and short-term trading as a concept of trading the whole market. Don't just trade long-term, don't just trade short-term, but you're trading the market. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see as we're going through here. That's what we're looking for. This is called a filter indicator, and when it crosses above that zero line on a 4-hour or below on the 4-hour, then that would be the direction you'd want to trade. So that's how we use a larger time frame to find the direction. Now I'm going to show you another concept here. The reason I put the line on this bar is because that is the very end of the previous bar, and so in between those two lines, that is what we call a zone trade. And I'm going to show you a zone going short. I'll just put it on that one because they're both the same. And then right here, see how the male and the filter are on the same side, same color. And then right here for at least 2 bars, that one was in the zone. Now we're going to go back to smaller time frames, and you can see how that can work. Now, yes, you could trade that, but this is kind of difficult by just using one time frame. Let's go to the 1 hour, and we're going to start right here on these first 2 lines that we just marked and show you some setups. Okay, the 1 hour was not quite set up, so you wait 1 hour. Now you see a zone on the 1 hour, and if the 1 hour was your entry signal, then see there's 50 pips, and then a while later, going in the same direction, then there was like over 100 pips in that move there. Now it's what you want to do is take a look at these moving averages. Which side of the moving average do you find the price bars? That's kind of the direction you trade. Now it helps if the 4-hour is, but see right up in here we would be taking sell trades, and there's sell trades, and so we're looking for the momentum on the largest time frame. But on the 1 hour, you want it to be on the correct side of the moving average. So that's how the up signal was looked there. Now let's show you what the short signal looked like. Now this is when the 4-hour was ready, but the 1 hour wasn't quite ready. Possibly right there, but it wasn't below that line. And so it's a counter trend trade right here. It was below, and below that moving average. And so there was a 30 pip move. So counter trend trade, not a great trade. And then you could actually start trading long again, and it was really choppy, moving up and down in the 35 pip range there. Now we have 2 sections here. On the 1 hour, it wasn't ready right there. First place it did become ready was possibly right there, but what do you see? It was not on the correct side. So on this one right here, I would say right here when it crossed below, that's your strongest entry signal. That went 30 pips back up against you, and then of course look here, below, below the line, everything's set up right, and then that's what took off there, and then it took off here. Now we've looked at the 4 hour and the 1 hour. Now let's look at, I'm not going to look at the first part, I want to look at things that are current. This is today's action, yesterday's action and then today's action. So we go to the 15 minute, take a look at yesterday. You see that the 15 minute had to set up, and when it gets set up, now you look at a smaller time frame, being able to time some of these big moves on smaller time frames. Well, let's do it on this one, which is just today. We have the 4 hour, and you can see that it went below. The 1 hour, it went below. Now the 1 hour went below ahead of time, so you could have actually started trading this one. I'm going to put another line back here on the 1 hour. Use the 1 hour as the largest time frame. See how many pips? That is like over 50 pips. Yeah, the 4 hour kind of gave you the direction, but the 1 hour confirmed that. So on this 15 minute, you can see how that really timed the entry of that trade. It was based on the 4 hour was right here, 1 hour was back here. It correlated with the 15 minutes. So get the direction of the trend of the 4 hours okay. The 1 hour is more sensitive, and if you only have a little bit of time to trade, the 1 hour is a better time frame to look at. Now let's go to the 5 minute. Here's what a 5 minute looked like. So you could have entered over here. It went a little bit in your direction. It didn't really go much against you, or if even at all. And then of course there was like over 100 pip move right there. Some of the traders were trading over here before the pip club opened. The pip club didn't open until right over here, so there wasn't a lot of movement on this particular pair at the beginning of the pip club. There was a news announcement, and then on this smaller time frame there was some 30 pip trades here. Now this wasn't the best pair for trade during the U.S. session, but during the European session this was a good pair to trade. We're going to go right down to the 5 minute and the 1 minute time frames. You can see these vertical lines. Let's go look at the 1 hour. See, the 1 hour was a buy signal there, and then it changed colors, but it stayed above the 0 line, and it was hovering along that line right there. So you can see that for a couple of time frames it was in a long move there. Go back to the 15. So it's right in this area. The 15 was above, and it was the wrong color right there, but it was above there, and then it started coming down. Okay, now let's go to the 5 minute. 5 minute, it was above. It wasn't above here, but it was a good heads up. Start considering trades in that direction. Which side of that moving average was it on? Obviously, well, it's easy to see which direction you should be trading. And then you see over here, now this is all the 5 minute. Some of them said yes, this was fresh, had a fresh color change. See what the market does, and in 15 minutes it took off and had a 60 pip move. Now let's go to the 1 minute. Now people say they don't see how you can trade and make money trading the 1 minute. Well, this is just an example, but we're trading a larger time frame to kind of help us with that direction. These first two lines, there was a buy signal there, it was above the line, went a little bit, and then it came back against you. There was another signal that if you've just been watching the 1 minute, right in there. So not a lot happened here, but you didn't lose a lot. If you'd had your stop out, it was still going in your direction. Notice it was on the right side of that line. There was a little retracement here, but the 5 minute had a little bit of slowdown here. It didn't say get out of the market, but it did say that the momentum was slowing right there. Okay, then this one said going short, but why wouldn't you not take that? Because it was going above the line. I want to show you something. Now there is a scan that actually brings these trades to your attention. I want to show what the scan looked like. This is the Euro Yen, 1831, 1835. A short signal and a long signal. So that was brought to your attention on a 5 minute filter cross 1 minute zone. Okay, look what happened here. That's where a signal scan went off. Not every scan is going to be correct. The momentum was correct. It met all the criteria, but it didn't give us the indication it was on the correct side. This one was exact. When that went off, that said, hey, you take a trade long, and you can see that for a while it didn't move much. It stayed 15, 20 pip range. Then all of a sudden there was no exit signals, and then they didn't give you 60 pips. That's on a 1 minute chart with here is the actual dashboard. So you click on this link right here, and these are the scans that I have selected on these currency pairs. You can select it on any combination. You can choose more things. I was just looking for the 5 and the 15 minute scan because I'm sitting in front of the computer. Here's the 4 hour and the 1 hour to give you the same scans. The scans are exactly the same, just different time frames. You don't have to learn a lot of different things to trade the different time frames. Just know that there's some setups.
Yeah, that makes it really nice. It really does from a trader standpoint. That it takes all the guesswork out of it for you.
And then you look down here, there's a bunch of other selective scans. You can look for specific things on one time frame, one currency pair, and you can see there's a whole list of things down below. But these are the main scans where you have multiple time frames and it's set up for the zone trade.
Hey, Kirk, could you go to the Euro Yen and mark with a vertical line that last scan that's there on the
It's right here.
scanner?
It's already marked. This is the one that's going short, and this is the one that's going long, and that's what it gave us right there. Now, I'm going to move this out of the way. Right here, 5 minute. Now the 5 minute right here said, now there are exit signals before that, so you get up here, there are exit signals. But right here is another scan that says trade the opposite direction. And so we have right here on the 5 minute, was it a big steep move? No, it wasn't. That was 9 pips. So what I like to see is wait until it gets over here below. See, there was a 10 pip move. So you just get in and get out, and then this is what it's doing over here. There possibly could have been a scan going long right here for 15 pips. So the scan can bring these trades to you. Now, so what we propose is, during the course of a day, is to find which pairs are moving in your in a direction. And we've narrowed it down to there are about 6 pairs that I watch on a regular basis. If someone brings it to my attention, I'll look at something else. But I'm going to bring over another thing that's introduced in the course material. It's called a trend tracker. I have the euro pairs on top, 3 of them. Pound pairs on the bottom, 3 of them. The other combination I like to trade is the Aussie, the CAD, and the euro. Those are the 6 pairs that we trade. Now, this is on a 5 minute chart only. Now, it's hard to see really what some of these things happened. But for example, the euro yen, I showed you that euro yen. Right here's where that move went off. So I have this showing up on my screen over here on my other screen. If you don't have 2 screens, then you'd have to toggle back and forth. But I can see when that's happening on the 5 minute, then I can know when there's a signal. I get a scan. I look over my alert. I click on the 1 minute, and then I know whether I want to be in the trade or not. And you can see that some of them were going down, going sideways, and it was the choppy market today. When it's going good, this is what you'll see as trends like this. If you like what you're seeing here as far as this strategy, this way of trading, then we have a scanner that brings trades to your attention. You have some indicators that are found no other place in the market than right here. And even those that you do know and are familiar with are not used in combinations in other places in the market. So this is totally unique new material that is just, the guys are just going wild with it, and I'll show you some examples of what's happening. We do have one other tool that people can trade together 24 hours a day. It's in the Skype. form. We call it the scanner form. So right here, this was like 6 o'clock last night. I'm going to bring up a trade. Okay, this is a long-term trader. He traded the 4-hour and the 1-hour and the 15-minute, made 133 pips. He works a full-time job, and this is when he could get back to his computer, and he took it and let it run, and that's where his take profit was at. Here's another trader. He made 26 pips on that one, 6 pips there, and that's going the opposite direction, and 12 and then 20 pips on all those trades. So you can see that 64 pips watching one currency pair. So that is a key. Once you find a currency pair that is moving nicely, stick with it, and then you can take out some pretty decent pips. Here's the pound yen, and this happened in the European session. Looks like 137 pips. Now we talk about taking a trade and adding on to it, and then we closed them all at the same time. Notice that cross on the 1 minute. Zone trade right there. Trade right there. 2 good entries. This entry was late, according to. But I know this trader sometimes has to leave his computer, and so he could have taken this one a little bit earlier and not had as big a drawdown. But this the moves, everything was above that moving average, moving in the direction, and so he got a lot of pips out of that one. This is the euro yen, so he's trading the pound yen, euro yen. That was a good trade, good entry. This one to me was 1 minute late. This one I just have no idea why he took that one, other than it was going his direction but had a bigger drawdown. This one was a little bit 1 minute late also. You can see how the difference a minute makes, and then it went up, and then he had his exit here for 135 pips. 2 currency pairs, multiple trades. He made over 250 pips using the smaller time frames, 1 minute to 5 minute combination. Okay, so those are some things. Now here's some of the conversations. I'm not going to read all these, but you can see that guys are talking to one another, showing their trades. And these are the trades that I just showed you. And great trading. They complement one another, and they're learning from one another. Here's one more. This fellow, he set this last night. He set a trailing stop, and he made 51 and 100 pips on that trade right there. Now, he went to bed and slept, because I know where he lives and know he can't stay up during that whole time. And then he makes a comment a little bit later on that it went another 50 pips in his direction. And so he missed out on that because he hit his take profits. As we go down, you can see a bunch of people making comments and commenting on trading the different time frames, currency pairs, talking about Brexit in the news. One individual is very good at, and he's fantastic about the news things. And he gives a look at this. All this material he wrote about the market and what to look for and the sentiment and why things are moving the way they are. And then computer tip of the day. So if your system is not working properly, he'll give little tips to tell you how to keep your computer running in tip-top shape. And questions and answers and comments. There's a video. If you click on this, there's a video behind that. Some more information. This information was coming in just before we started the session, so it's live and active. People from around the world. So if you are in a place where people are sleeping, the rest of the world's sleeping, you can say to anyone there, and many times there is someone there that you can get in touch with and trade and ask questions of. You might be asking, well, how do I get my copy of this? How do I get the videos for this trading system? Now, all we're doing is giving the videos away, and if you like what you see, you'll be able to also attend the PIP Club for a 2-week trial. Right here, we're going to copy this and put it in the, so everyone can see it, or have it in you can download it, but it'll be here so you can copy it, and so you can copy that and paste it into a browser. That's what that's going to do for you. It's going to ask you your first name and your email. It'll ask that information, and then you'll get the links. An email will come very shortly showing you how to watch the videos and how to log into the PIP Club. PIP Club is held Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday each week, so you'll have a chance to look at the videos and kind of have a feel for what's going on. And then if you attend the PIP Club, you have a couple of weeks to attend the PIP Club to see how we're trading and see how people are making these pips. Now these are called out. Some days there's not big gigantic pips made. Other days there are 30, 50, 80, 100, 150 pips made in a 2-hour session. You saw how some people are skilled enough they can add on to trades, and others are still learning and they don't have the confidence level, but they're making 30, 40, 50 pips. It doesn't take but a few weeks to be able to start learning how to use this system and being very confident in your trading. So,
well, for students that come on and are working the system and communicating with us, we do open up special trading sessions with them from time to time to help in a group setting to help trade outside of the PIP Club as well, to make sure that everybody's catching on to how it works and answering questions and so forth. So it's really a hands-on environment of an open-ended community where we're working together to help each other be successful.
Yeah, so you need to have a few weeks after you subscribe to it. It's a subscription product, and you can see all the details on the chart. This is not a sales presentation. This is just kind of a get you excited about watching the videos, learning the strategy, and then you can decide whether you want to do it. It's your decision. We're not trying to hype you up and say, here, click on the link, and you got 5 minutes to get in. Join if you want, or not join. You can sign up for, subscribe for a month, 2 months, and then continue to stay with us or leave us. So it's that type of a product. If it's working for you, stay. If it's not, then you may want to rethink it. But we do have sessions like Jed said, and those are by invitation. So if you wanted to get into those, then you would have to be with it for two weeks, and then you can be invited to come in for occasion. You're not a steady thing that you'll be there all the time, but you can be invited to come in.
And Kenneth asked a question about the 3 time frames trading together is quite reliable. He says, however, taking some time to get a signal as they all have to align. The cool thing about this, Kenneth, is that all we're looking for is on our 15, 5, and 1 strategy is to be able to find what direction the trend is that we're trading, whether we're trading in the trend or in a counter trend, and that's what the moving averages help us to identify. And then the bottom indicator, which is our filter, we just want to be able to make sure that we're trading on the correct side of that line, short or long, depending on where it is, as long as at least the 5 and the 15 are the same color as the 1. It's really simple. It's a really easy way to trade. And videos explain a lot more in detail than what I just did, but I'm just giving you a nutshell that it really takes away a lot of the pressure. But when you get a scan, you can go look at it and grade it really quickly and see if it's really one you want to take or not. And so they're coming to you as fast as you want them to come to you. Actually, can even come faster than you want them to come to you. So you actually have to fine-tune it down to what pair you're going to watch that day or what set of pairs. And it really is a pretty potent way of being able to grab pips out of the market without having to do a lot of research.
Once I determine which pairs I want to trade, I'll take the others off and only have the signals going on the pairs that I'm wanting to watch. You'll notice that there are only 2 scans. They're different time frames, but the scans are exactly the same, just using different time frames. This one is the 3 time frames, 15, 5, and 1. The others are only 2 time frames, the 15, 5 or the 5 and 1. So many times I can get both those scans at the same time, and it's even more accurate than that single one because this is based on a zone, this is based on an early bird filter. So we feel like this is the best combination. We've sold 3 time frames, 2 time frames, and patience is the name of the game. If you think it takes a long time to get a scan, I only have it on 4 currency pairs, and this is 1800. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15. There's 15 scans in an hour, and then looks like there might be that many the next hour. That's on 4 currency pairs, and I can tell you that you're going to have a hard time keeping up with that many scans and trading properly.
Let me interject here. I think that it's really advantageous to say here that with the number of scans you get, dialing in on a pair that works. Let's say the market's going sideways. Today the market went really choppy for all the pairs that we were looking at as a group. And so it was just a base hit day. You can make several base hits, 4 to 10 pips is typically what I was seeing come on the pairs I was watching. But there's days where it'll have a nice breakout and we'll go 50, 60 pips or longer in a direction, and/or we'll have nice smooth legs that go 20, 30 pips a piece with a little rest in between them. But these scans get you in front of the market to know exactly when to be looking, but understanding how to trade the market condition has been really exciting to work with a lot of the other traders, because we're all seeing the same thing and discussing it and sharing our concerns about what we're finding or our excitement, and we can make better decisions. And so inside the PIP Club and inside the Scanner Forum, there's a lot of dialogue going on to help each other move through the markets and be able to grade what's going on without having to be all alone and try to figure it out. Opportunity to be able to work together in itself, but then throughout the day in the Scanner Forum. So fantastic opportunities to be able to get ideas as to what's going on in the market. You can say, hey, I'm looking at this pair, I think it's doing this. You get 2 or 3 other people either agree with you or give you some insight that might help you see something from a different perspective. And it's really fun. Kirk pulled up the Scanner Forum and showed you a lot of the dialogue that's going on. A lot of that dialogue is going to be between 2 or 3 or 4 plus traders talking about specific currency pairs that they're actually trading live at that very time. During the Asia session, I trade with one of our traders from Ireland, and we have a great time trading together because we can see things. We look for exactly the same stuff. We're following the same pairs, and he and I will be trading in take the same signals, and then 2 or 3 other people will get involved and we'll while talking about stuff that's happening. It's been really fun, and it's very profitable for me as a trader to be able to do that. And so it's the system itself is only the tip of the iceberg as far as the value that's actually taking place inside the trading community we have. A lot of the value, most of the value is coming from the actual traders themselves working together as a team.
And as soon as you sign up for this, all you're getting is access to videos, the course material, and a 2-week pass to come to the PIP Club. You're not being asked to spend any money here. This is just to give you stuff. This is a giveaway link. And within a few minutes after you sign up for that, you should have an email that comes to you. It'll share with you some videos. How do I get into the videos? Or how do I get into the PIP Club, which will not be until next on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at about 9:15 Eastern, and goes for 2 to 3 hours, or whenever we decide to quit.
Well, it's also a come and go as you please forum. If you can't make it for the whole time because you have to go to work or something, you're more than welcome to pop in and leave when you have to. It's not like you have to. We take a roll or anything. We're just there to work and trade together and utilize everybody's time as wisely as possible. So,
one of the trades that I showed you, I'm not going to go back and isolate which one it was. It's one where he made over 100 pips, but he drives truck for a living, and he's home every night. But during the day, he's on the road when the PIP Club's going. He can turn on his phone on, I don't know what he's got on, but he listens to it in his truck. He can just hear the sound, he's busy driving, so he can't watch anything. But he really has a great time listening to comments. He says he really appreciates the input. He says it just keeps him excited, and the comments and the education just in the time that he can listen to that while he's working. Now, not everyone can do that, but that's what works for him. So he attends the Pip Club, and he can't ever talk. And we know not to give him a microphone. Occasionally he'll be stopping his truck and he'll type in a comment in Skype. But if you not give a microphone, you can type in Skype if you're a subscribing member, and the guys will talk back and forth with you on Skype. Sometimes they'll just answer it, or else they'll give you the answer in the voice in the room. They say, Kirk asked a question about da-da-da, and here's the answer. And some people don't have mics, don't want to talk on the mic, but you can type it in, and people will answer questions for you. You have to be a subscribing member to the Scanner Strategy to be able to come into the Skype forum.
If anybody's interested in learning more or wants to discuss behind the scenes, they can email us at jed@forexstrategysecrets.com. I'll type that in the...
Well, I can show it on the screen.
Oh, you can? Okay.
It's right there on the screen now.
Right there. Or you can give us a call.
We can discuss things pertaining to your situation, parts of the world that you live in, cause time frame issues. If you're in Australia or New Zealand, sometimes getting up for the Pip Club, it's like if you're in
middle of the night.
I guess what the east side of Australia is like a little after 11 o'clock. If you're on the west side, it's a little after 10 o'clock. I think it's about an hour's difference. I don't know what the time zones are there for sure. We have some people from Perth. We have some from Sydney and on the east coast. But we can share with you when the best time to be involved with us and answer questions and arrange that so the system that would work for you and still be able to trade. Might be working a job you have to work around. And so there's all kinds of things. We can work out a plan that works for you so that you can learn how to trade the currency market.
Right. And the valuable thing about this and exciting things, I mean, you've probably all heard this before. If you want to be associate with successful people who are doing the thing that you want to accomplish. And this is an arena and a forum which we've created that actually is doing just that. So you gets you a chance to be in front of not only Kirk and myself, but other traders that have come on board and that are following the system and they're more than willing to trade alongside and share their findings with you as a trader. And that's, to me, that's the best kind of success story you could possibly want or hope for or look for in any kind of a business, is one where people actually want to get back and work together. There's some good fun stuff that's happening as well, a lot of bantering going on, friendly discussions and whatnot. But the main thing to keep in mind is if you do come visit, don't get discouraged or feel confused or overwhelmed if there's not a lot of talking going on. If you do have a question, you go ahead and type it in, and we try to address those things as they come up when things aren't happening. But you watch it long enough, you start to catch on to the patterns of what people are looking at, and we'll call out signals, we'll call out trades we're in, and you can follow along, kind of watch what's happening and learn as you go. So,
see these 3 moving averages? You can find out what they are in the course material. They're given to you there. But when you see in this particular setup, when they're all the price is all on the same side, you notice that right here was a nice move. Right over here was a nice move, and these are counter trend trades, but we can show you how to trade those also. Okay, see how rough this one was to trade today? Other days this is as smooth as glass. So that's where we're looking at currency pairs. Why trade this if it's really choppy like that? Oh yeah, you might really work hard, and if you're lucky knowing how to counter trend trade, it says 14 pips, you might have gotten 5 to 8 pips out of that. Why not trade something that looks like this? Here's one that went almost 100 pips in that move right there.